Hey, my Coach Ass again, and today, guys, I'm here doing another anime review, as my review is 2! And by the way, guys, so I need to mention this. This name's got a fucking long name, so I'm just going to mention that. But I'm going to say the short name of this anime, but the short name for it is called SukaSuka. So yeah, now, this anime, like I said, it's got a fucking long name, but luckily I found its shortened name, like the shorter version of it, called SukaSuka. So episode 1 of SukaSuka. So guys, in this anime, I've got to tell you, it's got the feels of, I've heard that people who recommended ReZero to people, like before ReZero came out, because I watched ReZero. I didn't get into the fandom straight away. I let it off for some reason. I didn't go deep down into it. I started between episodes, I think somewhere around episode 15. I think that's when I started watching ReZero. Well, somewhere around those episodes, I started watching ReZero when they was airing. So I started watching around those times, and because of course I watched my old episode 1 to I believe it was episode 15 when I caught up back to the series when it was airing. But I've heard from people who got recommended to watch SukaSuka was because of recommendations of people who liked ReZero. And when I heard about it, plus also other reviewers got recommended it to them as well, I thought, yeah, maybe let's try watch it when it came out. And of course, it came out, and I watched it, and oh my god, I actually enjoyed this episode. Now, first I got to say, it does start with the normal, well, it doesn't start normal, but you get that feeling of normal, novel, feels to it. Like, you can definitely tell feels like a light novel. You can definitely tell it feels like a light novel. Obviously, because this is based on a light novel series. I mean, most of the people don't know, except for some certain, ReZero for it, except some certain good series that originally were light novels. But, most light novels are usually cliche as fucked, and most of them are just fan service, which I like. I mean, I like them. I can't deny it. I watch them for guilty pleasure animes. But I gotta admit, they're cliche as fuck, and nothing really points to them. But this anime could only be a good one. Because how much of setup this episode was. First up, I got to say, this world is based in a world of when humans are pretty much extinct, or to be more exact, on an extinction state. They're on an extinction state, because only, it looks like there's only a small population of humans, when the rest of the humanoid creatures that exist are animals, pretty much humanoids, like human animals, pretty much, human rabbits. Like, they're all covered in the fur. All the animals we would believe we have in our time period right now are talking and walking and really their physical physiques, except for certain areas like their facial aspects, maybe their feet, and of course their ears, major body parts. But they're structure, structure around this section, and mostly around. Majority of the structure is like us humans, but they still keep that animal features. And that's means I've got to say this, I take it only 10% of the population is human. Only, I think, for the way it looks like, I don't believe it's lower than 10%, because I have not seen anime that go lower than 10%. Because usually they always keep it around 10%. Mainly because if it goes below 10%, I don't know, but it shows the possibility of maybe humans not longer be able to populate. Because if it does go below 10%, maybe it's showing the signs that there is no way humans ever could come back. But yeah, this world is based on a time period, a futuristic time period, where humans pretty much have gone into an extinction state, where, like I said, a very low population, which is possibly only 10% of the world population is human now, when the rest are demi-humans. That's the proper name for it, demi-humans. Pretty much monster-like humans, or pretty much animal humans, pretty much, exist now. But... And it looks like some major phenomenon, like some form of disease, some form of tragical natural disaster happened that made sure nearly all humans, like 90%, I take it, of humans got killed off. And like I said, remaining like 10% of the human race lives on, or something like that. I'm only estimating the percentage, guys. Like I said, only because it has not mentioned how much of a percentage of the human population existed. It has not mentioned, but the reason why I say 10% because that is you can say, more likely possibility, because cliche reasons. Like, it's a light novel, of course it's gonna still keep its cliches. That's why I'm gonna follow the cliche option that 10% of the human race still exists. But that's only like a rough estimation. It could actually be way lower than that, and I'd be like, holy fuck, really? But I believe it's only 10% of humans. But pretty much this focuses on a futuristic world where pretty much all the human race has gone extinct, except for, like I said, that a slight few percentage of the human race still exists, but the rest are the demi-humans. And it follows this guy, and it starts out with the main heroine, which of course is not the main character. The main character is a male, if you want to know. But the main heroine starts with her walking in town, and she ends up falling after she falls from an edge from take it a roadway, a pathway, like this, like you can tell from the setting. It's set, of course, in a fantasy like aspects. Of course, fantasy like medieval or Saxon, those kind of periods of roadwork, or maybe more Tudor, or like more Tudor or Spanish Inquisition like time period, like section lifestyle, but. Pretty much, those pathways, how to put it, there's pretty much pathway on top of pathways, those kind of pathways. I'm not being good at this, but pretty much she falls off the edge of that pathway, but, because she was trying to catch a cat who seems to, had in its mouth, an item that belonged to her. She was trying to catch it, fell from the, cliff while, catching the cat. And the cat and her was falling until the main male character, known as William, who we find out his name is William, like really William, like gone for an English name like that. Like, I gotta say, they go for cliche fucking English names, don't they? Western names, but yeah. She runs into the main character William, who we find out like at the end. He seems to be fucking old as fuck! Like, I gotta say this. At the end of the episode, it goes back 526 years. 526 years before William meets up with, this girl, in this, village, city, town, I don't know what it really is, but, before he meets up to her, he was there as a young male, and for some reason the children that he knew, call them Pops. Possibility he might have been lived way longer than that. Part of the reason why they call him Pops, but how old is this guy? Because you can tell he's human. He's got human form, like, except for his possibility he could be immortal. He could be immortal, that means classified. I don't know, guys, immortals. Would you classify them being human? I don't know. Possibility might not, because they're immortal. And maybe they are no longer classified as proper human, but pretty much he's human. He's pretty much a human who pretty much lived for a long time. It looks like he lived for a long time. Now, so it was a big shocker, like, at the end of the episode, finding out he lived. Like, from that point, he lived to this point for 26 years. 526 years? How the fuck old is he? And he might be more older than that possibility, because of how the flashback also said when the girl said, Pops. And we all know that's the nickname for saying Papa or Father, the classic name, or dude, pretty much. Or calling someone, like a grandpa page character, you might call them Pops as well, because of their age being quite old as well. Like an elderly character, you might call them Pops. Like all that cliche character nickname. Classic nickname. So possibly these girls call him Pops, but maybe he's actually at the age where he should have been fucking old by now. But I digress from that. But seems like at the end of the episode he was going to a war, but and made a promise to this girl, which it looks like he couldn't keep, because that's when that's the time where the calamity happened, where pretty much all the human race got wiped out, except, like I said, that certain amount of population. Now, most of this episode, like I said, it's introduction and also, again, set up for what could possibly go on. Now, after meeting up with this girl, he showed her around the town, make her have somewhat memories, because it seems like she was supposed to go to this island, that these guards, because she seems to be an important person. Makes such good sense, because humans, like, most of these demi-humans have never seen a human before. Like, they never seen a person with hardly any hair at all. Like, they were shocked as hell. Like, pretty much asking, like, hair, like, not seeing this person with so much hair, so with hardly any hair at all on them. And she, again, you also can tell she seems like to be an important person as well. Good night, Mom. Like, sorry, guys, my mum, just saying good night, but seems like, human pop, seems like, of course, that they maybe hardly seen any humans, so they were shocked seeing a human. They were shocked seeing a human. But yet again, also, you can tell from her structure, she seems to be some form of nobility or an important person. With our main male character, who you can tell is a scrub or something like that. But after meeting up with this girl and he he goes back to the location where it looks like he was staying for a bit, and one of his friends, who seems to be a lizard dude, it looked like a lizard, I might have looked at him wrong, but he might actually have hair to begin with, but he found a friend of his, looks like it, offered him a job that works for the military to guard some weapons, and at first he didn't want to until his friend able to convince him, and of course he takes the job, and he then moves to the island where the factory is, and while he was there, he runs into another human, a small human, a child, who knocked him out, who pretty much pushed him over, and because she thought him as a suspicious person, of course she's a little kid. But then he ends up running into the same girl again, who we now later on find out is called Shufflet. Like, her name is, I was like, what the hell was her name? What's that? Like, because it's CH, like, I definitely know that. But just her name was like, ooh, I don't know how to say her name. Like, her name was confusing. But yeah. Now we also and then he brings up, and she after landing into the water, after he landed into water, which the little girl pushed him into, she brings him to Shelford, and the little girl brings him to the mansion, so he can dry off and also take a shower to warm his body up from the cold water, and of course made sure he didn't get a cold. Now we found out he being a caretaker, or got pretty much it. We found out he had supposed to be a caretaker of two separate there were supposed to be two caretakers, two separate factions, one maid faction and one military faction. And we found this maid faction, the person who's supposed to be focused on the maid faction of the caretaker work. It seems like this maid knows our main male character, who we found out this maid person seems to be a troll. Like, a troll? Like, I think the only time I saw anything about this character that made it look like she was not human is that she had a fang. She showed fangs. Even though the rest of her body looks human. Another cliche thing because it make her look big. Be like, I understand Musume. I understand Musume's way of showing how to make sure she might not be human, because even for her height and everything. Because she had a horn. Because she has a fucking horn. But this troll, the only evidence I saw was a fang, but yet again, that could be just classic anime fang style. Like, you know, you've seen it in quite a few anime, especially with Cinderella's, definitely. But with definitely a fang, you see a fang thing going on. But yeah, that's the only thing I can see. But really, you can't call someone a fucking troll for just being fucking big. Like, that's fucking insultive. I gotta admit that. That's fucking insultive. But I digress from that. But yeah, she's a troll and seems like to know our main male character. She also seems has a fetish of wanting to eat him. Even though she cares about him as well, in a sexual manner. Like, you can definitely tell she has the hots for a main character. You can definitely tell that from a person that to be it again. She also has a craving and maybe want to eat him and stuff, being a troll herself. And she also brings the reference out, I'm gonna eat you, like, to the little kids that come into this episode as well, like, and by the way, it seems like this mansion is covered in girls, like, the classic, like I said, another cliche, it seems like they always bring the main character, bring only one male character into a situation when he has to take care of a, go into a school, or go into a dorm, or go into a location where pretty much he's the only dude and the rest of them are girls. Like that cliche moment, that's to shows you this is definitely a light novel, because it goes to that moment. But, this is when we come to the conclusion, is he supposed to be a caretaker to some form of weapons? Like, weapons? And we am finding out that these girls, all these human girls, are the weapons, and it ends of the episode like that. We're like, what? They are the weapons. The only way I can see, and the ending sort of might give us clues that why they're the weapons, because they seem to have some form of magical ability, these humans. Which, okay, I might understand maybe that, but if that's not the case, what, like, I didn't really watch the ending, because I don't really watch endings unless the music really gets me. Unfortunately, the music didn't get me that time. But I might end up re-listening to it. I might end up maybe listening after people recommend it quite a few times, or maybe I might just get curious what the ending's like. I might listen to it more often, but usually I don't watch the endings. But for what I've seen, the teeny bits of the ending, it seems like these human girls might have some supernatural abilities, which may cause them to be weapons. But like, one thing I'm not gonna be like about the series using anyone as weapons, like using a living being as a weapon. I'm not a big fan of that. I've never been a big fan of that, but yeah, seems like these humans are weapons. Ooh. Now, and yeah, it's pretty much all the episode is pretty much about. Like, so there's a lot of setup in this episode. Animation, yeah, decent, not too bad, like a classic light novel, animation and art style as usual. But yeah, pretty average overall. But yeah, really, nothing too major. Like, nothing too major is going on. But I got to say, I like the first episode. I like a lot of potential. I can see a lot of potential to do with this series. It could go for the cliche route. It could also go for the very good ReZero route, like being a very good light novel adaptation, like a very good series. But I don't know. I'm gonna continue watching it, and I'll maybe might review more of it. Like, that's the reason why I'm reviewing right now. Like I said, unless I was not planning to, but unless a series really gets to me, I was not gonna review them. Only like certain series have like second seasons or previous seasons before. But like I said, this might be the only one I'm gonna review for this season that's not a second season. So, well, a sequel to a previous season, or prequel either way. But yeah, But yeah, anyway, guys, that's all I already got to say. Anyway, guys, that's my anime review to Suka. Man, I've got the name. I'd say SukaSuka. There, that's better. SukaSuka, episode 1. Sorry, I was rereading the name because so I'm using the name from a anime reviewer's title had to say it's SukaSuka episode 1. Hope guys, I get a fans today. If guys and something mail down below, my address, and yeah. Hope guys, I get comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.